What's up, everybody? This is another episode of SPORTS-REUBEN-LIFE. This is Ruben here. I'm going to jump right into it. And what I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to recap the Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz 2 fight that happened yesterday in the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was a tremendous fight. That fight lived up to the hype. And I'm just going to get right into what was kind of the controversial concept, right? Is everybody thought that Deontay Wilder started off really slow. Right? Everybody says, well, the fight wasn't exciting, the fight wasn't this, the fight wasn't that. If you look at the way this fight unraveled, okay, this is what we call the science, the sweet science of boxing, right? He had a really good plan, and Deontay Wilder was not prepared. He was not ready. He was not willing. He was not able. He was not interested in throwing blows, go blow for blow with Ortiz, because Ortiz hurt him. Ortiz hurt him in the last fight. Now, what I think happened was, or what my observation, this is my analysis of it, this is my opinion of it, right? Deontay Wilder took the position where he's going to keep this guy active and he's going to slow him down a little bit, because his punch that he was going to unload on him, he knew from the previous fight that was an effective punch to hit him with, right? He knew that it was a sufficient amount of power to lay into him and to give him the 1-2 wazoo and to hit him with that power, consequently to put in position to put the fight out of reach, right? So Deontay Wilder was not interested. It didn't seem that way. And Deontay Wilder gave up a couple of rounds. Deontay Wilder conceded a couple of rounds so he can set up that punch, right? He set that punch up for multiple rounds. Matter of fact, he set that punch up. He was waiting to unload on him for 5 or 6 rounds of the fight. Pretty much the whole fight, he was setting that up. That was a tremendous display of discipline, patience, and setting up that punch so he can deliver it in such a force and power that it was going to end the fight. But what he did also, okay, here's another keen observations about this fight. There's a lot of details in here that what I was really impressed with Deontay Wilder, right? Which I don't like to use the word GOAT, best of all time, all this other stuff, but if you saw the thumbnail, there we go, right? But one of the things that was interesting about it is he also was conserving energy just in case Luis Ortiz was not going to go down with that punch. So that's a very, very scientific strategy. That is a very old school boxer's mentality. He couldn't really intimidate Luis Ortiz in an obscure way like a Conor McGregor does or a Floyd Mayweather where they talk trash because of the language barrier, right? So number one, Deontay Wilder was promoting this fight. He did all the promoting, okay, which was very astute of him, and obviously he made the fatter $20 million paycheck. He got paid, right? But the whole thing, the observation of him, the observation of the fight was that it was a quality strategy that Deontay Wilder not only had, he executed to perfection. Okay? He took some hard shots, dude. That first round hit to the temple, it looked like he was dazed, a lot like what Anthony Joshua was in the Ruiz fights. For 2 seconds there, it looked like Wilder was hurt in the first round from I think it was a left hook that Ortiz hit him with, right? It was a right jab, left hook combo, and Wilder got stung with that. It looked like he got a little taken back from it, but he stuck to his game plan and he executed beautifully, dude. That was a very technical, disciplined display of boxing there. Wilder has the potential to just unload on you. The question is, Ortiz did have the experience of fighting him previously, so he knew what to expect. He knew what to avoid. So Wilder wasn't going to be able to trick him with just any old, barrage of power punches, right? Wilder had a game plan, dude. The over and underlying theme of this whole fight, the analysis of it, my observation of it, is that Wilder changed what he's done, and he threw Ortiz off. That wasn't planned, dude. You can tell that Ortiz was a little bit lost in that fight because Ortiz was a little bit taken back because he was waiting. Like Ortiz had the defensive response to Wilder's barrages. right? And Ortiz, when he didn't get that, he was a little bit stunned. His game plan kind of unraveled right in front of our eyes. And that's where you saw the stalling, right? That's where you saw Ortiz kind of pausing and throwing punches, but not really able to put anything really solid together. So that's what you saw, right? And then so the way that Deontay Wilder was reacting, he was receiving that punishment from Ortiz, right? And it was hurting him. Ortiz is a 6'4", 250-pound dude. He probably weighed 260 pounds in the fight. That guy has tremendous power too. His only 2 losses are to Wilder, okay? Ortiz made a giant, I think he made $7 million, which is probably the most money he's ever made in a boxing match. But Ortiz was a very game fighter. He can only fight somebody that can sell the fight. Ortiz is never going to be the A side just because of the language barrier and his connection to the United States crowd. Even though he has the Latin connection there, but he just, you got to be able to articulate it. You got to be able to do interviews nowadays. In today's media, you got to have a maximum exposure. Wilder did a great job of that, right? Wilder, and I talked about this in a video, Wilder's brother got knocked out. Wilder's younger brother got knocked out, and I said to myself, is that going to be a distraction? And part of my thought process when I saw this guy deciding to hold back a little bit, right? Because I'm sure that you got to have multiple game plans, right? At this level of prize fighting, at this level of chess, at this level of chess, you're not going to have one game plan. Maybe Ortiz had one game plan. He assumed too much of Wilder. Wilder saw what happened to his brother, and he says, I'm going to hold back. I'm not going to just go crazy on this guy. I'm not going to go wild on him, and I'm going to be calculated, patient, disciplined, and I'm going to pick my moment, because when I unload on this dude, he's going to be on his heels, possibly knock him down. He hit him so hard, dude, that was it, dude. That was what was going to come next. If they would have let him fight, would have been punishment, because he was obviously dazed and confused at that point. It was a clear situation where he was dazed and confused, and I really like the fact that they stopped the fight, okay? That was a tremendous fight. People not getting that enough credit. Everybody says it was slow, it was this, it was that. No, dude, that was a very technical display of mastery. That's a master's class. That was a master's class in patience, technique, utilizing and acknowledging what your strengths are. And the fact is that he knew that he had that right power, he had that right hand, and that power could deliver a knockout blow at the right time. Could have Ortiz been knocked down the first rounds 1 through 3? We don't know that, dude. Ortiz was in good shape. If you look at him, he was thinner than he's ever been, right? He was thinner than he's ever been. He looked like he was in it for the long haul, like he wanted to stretch out the fight too. So, or in a way, Ortiz was taken back by Wilder's response to his patience, but he was kind of in agreement with it because of the fact that he had prepared for a longer fight. He thought that he was going to be able to beat Wilder in rounds 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he thought he was going to be a second half of the boxing match fighter. So he thought that he was going to beat him the way Wilder came out. He thought Wilder was going to blow his load and gas out rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He thought he was going to try to make a quick night of it. Wilder changed it up, man. I don't know if it's because when he saw what happened to his brother got knocked out. I don't know if he said, okay, I got to stick to this game plan. I don't know if the discipline level factor went up because of the fact that his brother got knocked out. That had to be a factor. If you tell me it's not, you're fooling yourself. These fighters, you say to yourself, well, they're laser focused and dialed in. When your brother gets knocked out right before you fight, that has an effect on you. And for you to think that it doesn't, you're being disingenuous to the mind. You're being disingenuous to emotional connections to people. You're being disingenuous to logic, right? You're being disingenuous to this idea that these people are robots when they're not. Conditioned athletes are conditioned athletes. They still have an emotion. They still have emotions, and they're still people. So that being said, kudos to Wilder. Kudos to this technique. It's a sweet science of boxing. When you say that, this is exactly what I thought about. When I saw that fight, when I saw what was unraveling, I was very impressed with this idea that I don't just have to be a wild puncher. I'm going to be a boxer. I don't think that Tyson Fury can beat this Wilder. I don't think Joshua can beat this Wilder. I don't think Ruiz can beat him as easily. I think the next matchup is going to be if Andy Ruiz beats Joshua. Wilder already said he's going to fight Tyson Fury again. Man, I like Ruiz. If Ruiz wins, I like Ruiz to fight Wilder, man. that would be a fight of the century, dude. That'd be a tremendous battle of wills, right? Because if Ruiz beats Joshua again, Joshua is going to have to be at the bottom. Anthony Joshua will be at the bottom of the pantheon of the elite fighters. Wilder, he performed. He put on a show. His prize fighter status has been elevated. He was close to number one right now, and he was sharing the top ranks with Fury. Deontay Wilder put on a tremendous show, and he showed why he should be ranked above all the other prize fighters. There's a lot of good people in the heavyweight division, and Wilder's proving that he's the elite of the elite. Anyways, if you guys like this video, thanks. Comment below, like, subscribe, follow, thumbs up. Hit me with all that stuff. Tell me what you guys think. I would love to be engaged with your comments and respond. And I want to hear what you guys have to say about this fight. Was I off base? Was I looking in it too much? Was this video? Did you enjoy it? Let me know. Thanks. Bye.